This is a message from sponsor Intuit TurboTax. Taxes was waiting to get your money back, which turned into worrying about getting your money back. Now, Taxes is matching with a TurboTax expert who can do your taxes today and help you get up to a $4,000 refund advance loan fast. Get an expert now on TurboTax.com. Only available with TurboTax Live full service. Refund has $0 loan fees and 0% APR. Refund advance loans may be issued by First Century Bank N.A. or Web Bank. Terms apply, subject to credit approval.
Bedtime Stories from Sleep With Me. It's brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states or situations.
Friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time for the podcaster. I'm sitting on a new pillow. I don't think I've talked about that. You've probably heard me talk about the old, in the history of the podcast, I think the longest thing I've been using. Never to pause to think about this, but congratulations to the chair I'm sitting in, who's been with us for almost every recording of Sleep With Me, not every single one, in 2 different locations, 2 different climb-in closets, and now, because of its service, I now needed to put a pillow on it. It was already a very, very basic chair, and I don't say that in an insulting, oh boy, this is going on and on and on. This chair might need its own episode. So, this chair might need its own episode, but right now it's not. This is setting up an episode that's coming out already. This is the kind of podcast who could talk about a chair for hours and hours and hours, and you could talk about a chair for hours and hours and hours and still not say anything and not finish the original thought you had about the chair. And that's why it's time for Sleep With Me, a podcast that's here to put you to sleep, really by keeping you company and taking your mind off of stuff, because you deserve a good night's sleep. I'm so glad you're here. I want you to know, this show is here so you feel less alone in the deep, dark night. We're all here to keep you company because we've been there. So the show, there'll be some support for the show. That's how it's free twice a week. Then an intro, which is to help to ease you into bedtime. And then there'll be a little bedtime story. So it's time for Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. And these sponsors are how we're able to do that for free choice week. When your hand hits that fridge or coffee pot tomorrow, remember, sleepwithmepodcast.com/sponsors. Thanks, everybody.
All right, hey, everybody. Happy holidays, bakers. I got to pull everything up, actually. So give me a second. We're talking about the Great British Bake Off holidays, which that's not correct, is it? No. So I got to find it. I did watch it. It's just that, of course, it's not coming up recently. My list? No, that's not it. Okay, well, this isn't exactly going smooth, but recently. Oh, why does this, did I download it? Oh, I did download it. The download did not work. Oh no, that's the finale. So yeah, it's going slow. Collections, let's see. Okay, I think we're almost there. So wow, Scoos, this is, exciting stuff. I say, you're right, it is, okay, season 4, maybe? Nope. Oh, that one looks good, though. Okay, I found it. This one was season 4, The Great British Baking Show Holidays on Netflix. Is that the right one? Flo, Liam, Jane, and Andrew, yeah. And it downloads. Let me see what I have in my notes here. Cake Stars, Garage Bands, People Cake, Kid, To-Do List, Snow, purse on cake ball. Okay, no, that's probably correct, but let's hit play here. That's like the opening sequence, you know. And audio and subtitles, we're going to need that. We got that. All right, we're good to go. But they go into the tent, lots of puffy coats, Liam and Flo, Liam in jacket up, Xmas trees 3. Oh, yeah, there's like stars on top of cupcakes, gingerbread people, to-do list, recipe, kid eating, to-do list on a wall, flower dusting, snow person on a cake, Great British, Christmas British baking show. Oh, Liam put his jacket over his mouth first. I think everyone had a puffy coat on, at least 3 out of 3. Yeah, Flo did too. So this was fun because I know Flo and Liam, I mean, not personally, isn't it? Christmas jumpers, Liam says, trees and that, yeah. He's excited to be back. I'm excited to see, I like Liam and Flo a lot. So I don't know Andrew and Jane. Flo thought she'd never be back. Her jacket actually matches her eyes, her puffy coat. And then she has a holiday-themed shirt on. Also back in the tent, Series 7, Jane, who's a huge Christmas fan. Loves the decorations, loves the tent, lovely, with Andrew. And her and Jane are kind of frenemies, so they're competitive. So that'll be fun. Andrew and Liam have sweaters on, but they also have their aprons, which I guess is a jumper. And in comes Sandy, Noel, Prue, and Paul. They're very dressed up. Okay, so Sandy has on a green, I'll have to look at her, the arms of her shirt have some sort of embroidery. Then, so she's not themed that I can see. Noel's not themed either, but he has an oversized sweater on with the oversized rainbow sweater. Looks very thick too, but he's usually dressed warmly. We'll go to Prue last because Paul has on kind of like an alpine themed sweater with I wouldn't say it's holiday themed. Again, I do wear sweaters, but I tend to get I would be too hot, I think, maybe in the tent. Maybe not, though. Now, Prue has on layers. So Prue has on a green sweater with a dog with a holiday hat on, I think. We can't see it because with a green sweater background. And she has a red blazer over it. Her glasses and her necklace match the red blazer. So Prue gets the VIP for like seasonal dress award for the hosts. Or I guess those are judged. So the first thing up is a dozen iced biscuits, 12 days of Christmas, flavor up to you, but 12 perfectly evenly baked biscuits. Baking Buddy Flo, that was alliteration 3 already. Oh, yes, seasonal special. That was E2. I don't see E1 anywhere. Alliteration 1. Oh, Hark the Herald Angels singing was playing at one point. Reap the Reward. Pause for outfits. We did that. Joke, 12 iced biscuits. Biscuits, 12 days of holidays. 12 baked evenly. 2.5 hours. Go. Get set, bake. Liam spills some coffee. Prue, cozy, glasses and scarf. Oh, yeah, now she has a scarf on. Paul wants balance. Old blue eyes will be in a storm. The biscuit should be the star of the show, Paul says. Let's see, I think Prue's the one that says old blue eyes will be as stern as ever, I'm sure. Very fettered, make dough, Fitbit, school flyer. I don't know. Cram with Christmas, E6, Christmas classic, E7. Got to make their dough. Jane's doing it in the machine, saves the rubbing. Andrew also doing mince. So I think Liam and Andrew are doing mince. Crunch, not a snap. Halloween hot. I don't know what that is. Currants, cloves, ginger, nutmeg, cinnamon. That's Flo. Full flavor. Royal icing, coniferin, 13 colors. Fruity Christmas classic will help him stand out, Liam. Mince pie, orange zest, mixed spice. Oh, Andrew's talking. He's going to be crunchy. Back time, call doll. Roll me biscuits, Flo. Good at rap. Flo, Noel starts talking to Flo at one point. Halloween haunt, or Halloween hot. Like Hoyt Couture, how do you say that? Hoyt Couture? I don't know. Andrew's very ambitious with like cartoons or on his royal icing using apple brandy, which they say, oh, that's interesting. But yeah, later Noel talks to Flo. Intricate, 13 colors. Study hard. Hello, Liam. Paul cheery. Okay, so let's see. We're ahead of the game here. Jane's talking about how who's our biggest competition. Andrew and I have a feud kind of going. And she says, I'm talking about you because I am behind your back. Behind your back. Time call doll. Liam pretends. Noel. Liam. Noel. Liam and Noel. I always get let's see, Flo's rolling her biscuits out. Heard on the grapevine that you like to rap. And she says, no. Paul said you're good at rapping you did it on the Joe Brand show. Like, do you like Biggie, Tupac? Never heard of him. She likes Will.i.am. So she does like some sort of hip hop rap. He's lovely. Noel says, I could put a word in for you. She goes, I got to focus on my cookies, buddy, my biscuits. I'll ring Will, talk to you later. 12 biscuits cut out, and Andrew's using his craft knife. Bakers bring back memories. Hello, Liam. Tell us about your biscuits. 12 essentials of Liam. What? Game controller, biscuit-shaped dance move, Liam at Christmas, you're rolling shortbread, dude, Paul says over and over again. Are the layers going to flake? Getting flour in between. Liam says, don't worry about it, Paul. It will work. Can we have faith? Then they have a big laugh because he has one that's a falafel. And they say, what is that shape? He goes, it's a falafel, dude. And they say, how are you going to know it's a falafel? He goes, well, I'm going to decorate. I'm going to pipe it. He goes, I'll make it look like a falafel. And they say, come on, Paul, let's let him work, please. Okay, then the biscuits are getting ready to go in the oven. 12 minutes, crunch time. Everybody's crossing their fingers, stressing a little bit. We watch some baking sequences. Will they meet the judges' expectations? Liam says Paul was worried about it. Don't get bent. Halfway through, Sandy's got stars in her eyes. I love this show. Like actual star cookies. Okay, falafel into it, 12 minutes, crunch time. Will they meet Expendables, Sandy Star's eyes, underbake or burnt, battle of Baker's nerves, and that's the next one. So nice, this jumper. Noah gives Liam a hug. You're very huggable. Am I? Yeah, it's a compliment, eh? I don't know, it's this jumper. Something about it makes you more huggable. Is a jumper a sweater or the apron? Cooling, toppings, brandy, icing, royal icing, Pink Panther's legs. I guess that's alliteration. I didn't realize it, but it's the color of Pink Panther. Flo is using treacle and ginger. Left a lot to do. Andrew, Liam, and Jane are using, pink, melting down Pink Panther's legs. That's deep, man. Andrew's got 13 colors of icing. Lot to do. Drawings, life drawing. Oh, they talk about life drawing, which is, I guess, drawing of nudes. Only bauble, son. Okay, right now they're talking to Flo. 12 days, she does decorations. In Scotland, there's a baboon on the 12 days of Christmas, Sandy says. So, that's fascinating. Spiced treacle and ginger biscuits. And her family loves them. Decorated with fondant. So she's the only one not using royal icing. Partridge, pear tree, 5 gold rings. That's a lot, Paul says. She goes, Paul, please don't stress me out. He goes, are you worried about it? And Sandy says, look at me. You're fine, Flo. Just ignore him. Okay, drawings. Noel's talking about Jane's drawings, that they're pretty good. She goes, oh, well, I took a life drawing course. It was awkward, trying to, he was making eye contact with me. The person we were drawing. She's got different almond extract, ground cloves, Norwegian spiced, 12 festive ornaments. You put a lot of detail in there, eh? Yep. Last time we saw you, you didn't finish in time. Now your biscuits are out there cooling. You just got to pipe them. Good luck, Jane. So she says, it's great to stretch yourself in front of Paul. Dream come true. Really. Then we see the tent, half hour. Noel and Sandy have ornaments as earrings, piping, or icing. Liam says you got to be in the zone. Liam eyes, Flo steel. This is coming up here. Flood icing, only baubles. I was trying to figure out what that was. Intricately iced. Maybe that was about the life drawing. Somebody's baubles, That was a new alliteration, though. Good luck, Jane. Stretch self. I guess that could be alliteration. Flo keeping it simple. Flood icing. Andrew's doing it on paper and then going to transfer it. So I wonder if he had to do them inverse so they would transfer the cookies. I guess so. If depending, I don't know. Or maybe that was the bottom. Adds a sweetness to the apple brandy, but not dominant. Bum or falafel, they say about the falafel before it gets painted in. Paul even is like, can't wait to see this falafel. Will they finish? Can you do it, Andrew? 15 minutes, panic, Liam eyes, Flo stencil, Swift and pine cones. Andrew, big problems because they don't come off. Hello, lovely. Liam sings while he puts them on the calendar. Flo, Liam has like an advent calendar type thing. Flo puts hers on a tree. Ripe dogs, dinner. Liam sings, show by bells, silver bells by bells. So that's like the transition music is silver bells playing on bells. But I'm watching Liam do some flood icing in blue. Andrew's icing, he painted on this transfer paper, but it won't come off without, it just starts breaking up because he had so much detail. So he kind of is like, great. And Sandy tries to encourage him. They haven't fully dried, so I'm going to have to kind of do another round of piping. And she goes, you don't have much time left. We see everybody's, wow, Liam's piping is nice piping, Liam. Oh, Flo's got it nice. She goes, I'm too heavy-handed. And, everybody's kind of, Jane's dropping crumbs 1 minute. Liam does some, Noel does owl eyes. Those two Oasis, Liam and Noel, right? Glazed donut, makes my stomach growl. So everybody's getting everything done. Flo says, I've done my best. Those look amazing. Andrew says, mine look like a dog's dinner. Time is up. Andrew stress breeze. And everybody says, oh boy. And a fresh Christmas trim for me. That's what Liam sings. Okay, so now they want a dozen festively flavored, impressively iced biscuits. Double alliteration. So Andrew's up first. Each one is an image of something I do at the holidays at home. Mince pie and flavor with the apple brandy icing. They say, okay, it looks, the idea is wonderful. Piping's clumsy. Nice snap on the biscuit. I heard you had soggy biscuits, but these aren't soggy. Thanks, Prue. Prue takes a bite. Flavor is shortbread. The star is the brandy and the icing. So that's delicious. Prue says, I'm going to use that. Thank you, Andrew. Gets a smile. Then they go to Flo, who's up next. And they say, okay, very good, very elegant, but, that's some thick fondant on there. About the same thickness as a biscuit, eh? And they take a bite, think about it. It's treacly, but the ginger doesn't make it too sweet. Excellent biscuit. Biscuit's great, Paul says, but fondant's too thick. Then Andrew's up. Liam's up. Sorry, Liam. Great colors, rough around the edges, so got to look at them from a certain angle to see that that's a falafel. Let's have a look. Lovely. Very crisp, Bruce says. Paul says, I was worried about them being flaky, but they're crumbly rather than flaky. They're delicious. Like the flavor, mince pie. Paul says it's good. Just needed more time, and you could have done a decent job. Then Jane's up. Hers are 12 days of decorating. They say pipework's excellent. Cracker looks amazing. Oh, she has a Christmas cracker. Icing's not too thick. I hope they taste as good as they look, eh? And they start saying baked to perfection. They taste amazing, Paul says. Explode in the mouth with cinnamon. Grand job. Thank you. I like those biscuits. Noel says, I love it. I like the, what is that, a penguin or something? Or owl? Then Andrew says, Jane's my friend rival. She's nudging in the lead. Jane says, well, they couldn't have gone any better. She's pretty happy. They both said lovely things. And she's like, just like opening a present. Liam says, I proved Paul wrong. You just got to believe in yourself. Am I looking forward to the technical? Kind of. Then we see a bonfire. And then we're back in the kitchen's clean. You got the gingham towel. And first, Noel says, no technical. We're just going to chill on bean bags. And they say, no, Paul did pick one. Any words of wisdom? Get the design right in your head before you start. So useful. All right, so Paul and Prue leave the tent. So 6 Icelandic laufa bread. Laufa bread? Yeah, flatbreads. Traditional family bake for Icelanders at Christmas. The laufa bread needs to be wafer thin, perfectly crisp, and triangular cuts. Uniform in size. Otherwise, the Grinch will not like it. Let's see. Andrew, nice snap. Oh, this is not soggy. That's the earlier judgment. Get the design right in your head. Laufa bread, group uniform in size. Plans drawers, 935, laufa bread. Never heard of it or seen it. Kind of like Papadums, Flo? flatbread, fried bread, like a donut. That's what Liam says. But we see them finished. This is Prue and Paul at a dinner table. It's like a papadum. Got to create the dough, roll them out. So think of like phyllo dough, very thin. The tricky bit is the design. So it looks like a snowflake. They got special rollers with cutters. But then you have to kind of fold it and stuff, mark it with a B, but a star in this case. And they have to be identical. 6 of them, Paul says. And you hang them up so they look really nice. You eat them and their decorations. And they crack beautifully. That's what we're looking for. A little bit salty, delicious, Prue says. And on Boxing Day, it'd be great with a turkey curry. And we'll say, sounds good. Jane says, I'm trying to make sense of these instructions. Andrew's like, I've read ahead to the decorating part. It's still an enigma. Make a dough, conventional ingredients, rub the butter into the dry until you make breadcrumbs, kind of like rubbing pastry. But that's where the familiarity ends. Everybody's making faces. They talk to Flo. Have you ever heard of this? No. Liam did other work, like your caffeine bluffing. Flo's never heard of it. Like your confidence, I'm bluffing it. Liam, mix till you have no, that's Andrew making a pliable ball of dough. I don't know, 6 to 3 sugar balls, a 20-centimeter circle. Thin and small, 19.5. Don't overwork it, Liam says. But I don't know. We need the dough till smooth. 6 35-gram balls, 20 centimeter, thin and small, thin as paper. Liam rolls it out, gets made, snowflake pattern, 6 parts, 360 degrees. It's going to take up almost the entire pan. Andrew measures his pan like it's the circles the same diameter as a pan. Very thin, transparent, Flo says. Thin and small. Wow, Sandy says. 6 parts. Liam, no idea. Everyone cutting, don't know. Fold each tip V part. Lift the tip. Vibra. It's deep fried at 200 degrees. Noel has a chocolate holiday log. He says, I just made this, Sandy. She goes, oh boy. Flipping heck, somebody says. You're cutting the tool. It's it's like brassy, the tool they have. 24 minutes, 20 centimeters or centigrade or Fahrenheit. That causes a mix up for 2 of them. Flo and Andrew end up a little bit burnt. 5 minutes. Liam, it is what it is. Looks good, though. Bring them up. Liam, for constant, big bubble, very good flavor. Oh, that's the judging. We'll wait for that part. So, yeah, right now they're trying to do the V's. Andrew seems like he's got that part down. Oh, that's clever. I like that, Sandy says. And Flo's doing a kind of scooter-esque job. I don't know. Just messing around. Just making patterns. God help me out. This would be like, I would be like, Flo, like it was me versus Flo. Flo would win 10 out of 10 competitions. But she has the same kind of like I'm cooking. I'm baking for people, not for perfection. But then you have Jane, very, like, her very attention to detail is, she's like, this is going to take ages. Liam says, I don't get the V part, hang on. Using a knife, flip the tip of every other V. So it kind of looks like it's weaved together or something. And then Andrew goes, oh, okay, lift the tip. Oh, gosh. But I'd say I'll pass. Just vote me out or whatever. And they say, I can't believe we got to put this in the fryer. Then we're watching the frying oil. A minute at 200, Jane says. Fine margin for error, though, because, too hot, too cold. We're Won't be crisp. And too hot and it'll burn. Fry one at a time till crisp. And they have to be uniform in color. Holy mackerel. Andrew's temperature's almost there. 24 minutes. 24 minutes left. Oh, dear. And somebody else was calling time. Noel says, I'm calling time. 25 minutes. Andrew is calling time. Not enough time. Andrew puts his first one in on kind of like a pizza peel type thing. Flo uses her hands. Jane and Liam's oil is not hot enough because it's at, they're using centigrade or whatever. They're Andrew may be a little hot. His first one's pretty dark, almost burnt. And Liam and Jane are like, oh, wait a second. I'm reading the Fahrenheit. So they got to turn their heat up. So Jane's like, oh, no, I was taking it up to the wrong one. Yeah, but we're going to have to put it in with no choice. And Flo says, I think that's too, Andrew says, I don't deep fry anything at home, so I don't know. Liam says, this is looking awful. All right, bakers, 5 minutes left. So I say, okay, 5 minutes. We're going to have to, Liam and Jane got to go in the fryer, even though they're not ready. Jane's is definitely not warm enough at all. They say, man, these are hard to work with. And they're not going to be cooked. What are they supposed to look like? Andrews are very, so people, there's different spectrums. Like, Liam's one that is done looks like it's the right doneness. Then hang them on a Christmas tree. And they might got to get all 6 done. 1 minute left, though. So not everybody's going to get them all done. And they're not going to be crispy. Liam says, oh, sugar. Flo just is like, whatever. And time is up. Bring your loaf of breads up. Place them behind your photograph really slowly. This century, if you can, because Liam's barely moving. Jane drops one of hers on the floor. She says it broke, breaks, and it goes on the floor. She's only, I think that was her, she maybe had 6 evenly baked golden loaf of bread. Well, no, Hughes is Hughes. They wanted 6. Liam's up first. Let's start with these. What do we got here? 4, not 6. Consistent on color, though. Bubbly. They're meant to have tiny bubbles. These are big balloons. Lovely and crisp, though, and Liam's covering his mouth. Not greasy, good flavor. Okay, good. So I thought Liam did, he doesn't have 6, though. Next up is Jane, smaller bubbles, even pale. Could have gone in a little bit longer. Lovely pattern all the way across. Beautifully done, these are. Quite even. And they even got the little triangles down. Neat and tastes good. Good crack. Moving on. Next up is Flo. Color, irregular in color. And too thick. Undercooked, this one is elastic. Tastes of flour. And Andrew has 6. Fairly elaborate in their decoration. Overfried. And this one's a little darker than the other ones, a bit irregular. That's actually burnt, yeah. They take a bite. Prue and Paul must now decide which are best. And they put Flo in 4th place. Liam in 3rd, though, but I thought they said Liam's, I guess, because there's only 4, maybe the decoration. I thought Liam's tasted better than Andrew's, but they say you didn't even turn the V's back, Flo. Liam, where are the rest of them? Okay. I rolled them out, but didn't get them fried now. 2nd place. Okay, so that's why. Andrew, well, these are overdone. But good attempt at the decoration, and they tasted great, which leaves number 1, Jane. And they say, perfect. These were pretty perfect. Just could have used another 5 seconds in the fryer to give it a little more color. Beautiful design, nice and even, all equal. And you managed to get 6, so well done. Thank you. And Jane says, who would have thought that in the post-interview? Got to say, it's been a pretty good day. Andrew's pretty pleased so far. It was a bit of a mad dash at the end. A little burnt, but Flo said, never seen one before, and I hope never to see one again. And Liam says, I hope tomorrow's good, but I'd like to end on a bang. And we end with a picture of pine cones for that segment. So I'm picking this up from past scoots here. Prue comes into tent. Is that where we left off? Flog players. Never to see one again. Oh, yeah, that's what Flo had said. Prue comes into tent. Flo, tongue, side of mouth. Morning bakers, hidden design, Christmas present. Liam, Andrew put his arm around Flo, and Liam and Jane were talking. Liam just did a little shimmy. Jane looks, she was sighing. And now all the judges and hosts this Showstopper challenge. Spectacular hidden Christmas present cake. What's that? Don't worry. It's decorated to look like a Christmas present, but once cut, it reveals a sponge design or picture hidden in the cake. It can be shaped in the tin, or sponges can be baked and carved and assembled after baking. It's up to you. But you only got, 4 hours, I think, on market said bake. Flo laughs and, eggs, flowers, juggling balls, never easy. See when you cut it. Madeira sponge, I don't know, I put a question mark. Not going to no final reveal, nice and bright. Constant something, sponge that mentions stopper, main mix, can carver. I don't know what that means either. What you want is a cake that looks like a Christmas present, and inside is a design, Prue says. Now, Prue has a green coat on, too. I don't think she had that on last robust sponge. Black cake, Jane's, one of Jane's cakes. Exquisite decoration, Christmas flavors, absolutely wowed. A lot of eggs and oranges on Andrew's table. But the challenge is, no one's going to know what it is until you cut into it. Nice and bright, Andrew's, nice greens, nice orange or reds. So the first task is create the internal. Liam's doing gingerbread. Somebody else is doing two green and colored cake, green and red. Hidden design relies on the consistency of the sponge. Moist cake, a close texture is needed to maintain shape once sculpted. Because you don't want it to fall apart, Jane says. Andrew's stripes. So then Andrew's working on a second cake that's going to encase the first one. I'm a mucky worker, Flo says. How are you? Fine, thank you. Tell us about your present cake. Green sponge in the oven. Christmas trees cut out. A whole bottle of mulled wine. This is a whole thing that becomes a whole thing in the cake, a whole bottle. Even their looks, a whole bottle of wine in the cake. It's almost like the whole cake is mulled wine. It's like a routine almost. And they say, have you done this before? Yeah, with the whole bottle? Yeah, and their family loves it. My family also loves very Merry Prezi. It was some orange zest, cinnamon. It's cheese board, too, so there's going to be cheeses, cream cheese, Stilton, and Roquefort. And they say Roquefort and Stilton. So it's like a savory cake. They don't say that. I was just wondering it myself. Could be genius, could be madness. Flo laughs. I'm in. But they're looking forward to it. So that's cool. It's outside of the box. Hard Harble. Spectra, Spacious, and Hairdressers. Flo delves into the drinks cabinet. Boozy cake, bring it on. Jane and Andrew have fruit bowls, zesting oranges. Andrew's doing that. He has a juice. Liam's in the cookie. Oh, speculoos. I guess you get those in, it's like cookie butter, right? I give them to you on the airplane. And Bruce says, you get it at a hairdresser. And I say, well, you get it on a flight. Well, it's one airline at least. And you can get them at TJ's, and you can get cookie butter. And William says, I'm a bit of a magician, a baking magician, they call him. The 3-in-1 gotta be fun cake, a double design. He's having gingerbread people. And like, so every other, he's alternating, chocolate flavored gingerbread people with no ginger. But Bruce says, I remember your Showstopper pancakes, still speculoos sponge. That was alliteration. First cake done out of the oven. So everybody's getting that done. Freezer or fridge, 3 hours, because you got to cool your cake, before you decorate it. Broken ornament of bird. Andrew, 2 baubles, a gift every year. So, yeah, these are sweet stories. These are coming up. You got to put, you don't want a gift every year. Orange hazelnut, Madeira sponge, carving to shape. So then they do, the bird speaks to Noel and says, 3 hours left. And then they throw it into the wild, but it was just an ornament, not a bird. Wasn't a real bird. Okay, so 2 baubles are going to be hiding in Andrew's cake because in the holidays, they would get a Christmas decoration every year when they were kids. So then by the time they were adults, they have a full set of holiday decorations. Great idea. Inside orange and hazelnut and Madeira, Medeira sponge. You're quite good at this stuff, yeah? All right, don't jinx me, Paul. Good luck, Andrew. Thank you very much. So a lot of people are carving. So they're using cookie cutter kind of to carve their thing. And this will be the double baking. A seamless internal design, but also prove the opportunity you could overbake one, it could get overbaked because it's going to be inside another cake, which has to bake around it. But Jane's doing hers differently. She's assembling hers from pre-baked sponges. So she says it'll be a bit touch and go, but hopefully it'll hold together. Practically perfect penguin present. Wow, that's a lot of alliteration. Christmas trees, so have penguins in the middle. It's going to be cute, not double baking. She goes, yeah, if when I double bake, they always fall out of line or move. And we're going to have penguin in a tree. Tree penguin. Penguin lost in forest, Noel says. Non-existent forest in the Antarctic, sure. Okay, then they're halfway through, and Noel's got this, like, Santa on his shoulders outfit on, which is actually looks... It's very effective with his trying to act like Santa can barely hold him up. People are putting their cakes, making their next cakes. I don't think they're baking as fast as they can. But yeah, anything mistakes now. Flo's very precise on this one. So Andrew says, I hope Paul's right about me. Liam's getting ready for a speculoos sponge. I mean, that sounds tasty. And Flo's got her mulled wine cake. I don't think I could eat that just because it would make me too. Then Sandy and Flo talk about when Flo judges baking contests, is she tough? And she says, maybe we'll have you fill in for Paul one day. But she's a nice judge. Back in the oven, don't. Jane baking in oven, in freezer. Liam butter, cream, crumb coat. Then apply fondant. So let's see. Trying to get the cakes, got to make sure it's baked. But Jane's done with her baking. She's in the cooling stage. Liam trashes Flo's cake. Strong, swag, stag, sting. Andrew keep up with Jane. Cooking is key. That's alliteration. Peanut butter. Andrew's making a ganache. Smooth surface on which to apply fondant. Stilton Roquefort is going to go around the cake. And it smells, Liam says blue cheese. He tastes it and he says, whoa, strong, nice, but strong. Wee bit soft is Jane's buttercream or whatever. And she's doing assembly, double bakers. Now's the time to see what happened. Steady hand, Jane cuts a hole in her cake. Nolan, Sandy, and Reese, 1 hour. That's coming up. Right now, coming out of the oven. But for Jane, she has to carve through her cake. I'm like, man, that's tough business. Steady hand, as we said. She's basically like tunneling a hole through her cake. Maybe she's going to flip it over, though. And Liam's watching. She says, not good for my nerves. See, Andrew's making some candy. Oh, wreaths around their necks, Sandy and Noel. Let's say, these are necklaces from Peru. 1 hour bakers. And everything's warm, so you got to let your cake cool so you can pipe it, Liam says. Flo's cake's too warm. Andrew has to pull out of the oven. Jane quite something. Flo's cake, eye wash. Jane in a hurry, bit of a mess. Bouncing cats. Perfect rolled fondant. Flo, 1, 2, 3. So Jane gets hers assembled and tries to get it in the fridge. All quite precarious. Noel says, you're making my eyes water with your wine and cheesecake. Jane's, is that Jane? Hers is bowing out the sides. Andrew's making his fondant, and he's going to put panels on it. And they say, yeah, you got to be wrapped in fondant. You don't want to, Andrew's measuring his out. Too not too thin, not too thick. And that's a big cake. And Flo, actually, her fondant isn't nearly perfect. Goes over it. Now Jane's is going over. It looks like plastic almost. Liam's striping his with fondant, so it's like he's gluing it on. And Andrew's cake's still in the freezer. Half an hour, just a half an hour. Not really long. No, not really. So Andrew's got to bust a move while Flo's doing some fondant repair. Andrew's is still warm. Got to ganache it, though. Quick. And detail work's going on with Liam and Flo and Jane. Jane's like sanding hers. Got to get the panels on. Andrew starts his assembly. Jane's painting hers. Liam's piping his. And so interesting. Andrew and Liam do like a construction where Jane and Flo did like a whole covering of with their fondant. So Jane and Andrew are doing sugar work. Got to work fast because the sugar's cooling down. Jane's got sugar stuck on her gloves. Andrew's kind of doing one of those ribbon candies. Timing. Jane's sugar crystallizes. Need a plan B. No. Can't shout out done. Amber, please. Will bow. Last of tears. Flows look good. tin up silver bells by bells. So, yeah, Jane's saying, I need a plan B because I can't make my candy. Only 5 minutes left. That's when she says all those no's. Liam's almost done. Flo's cake, she's putting, what those things called? Snowflakes on there. But Andrew's like, I don't know if my bow is going to save me. Flo also has a fondant bow. Andrew's painting his cake, though that doesn't really look great. Liam has a fondant bow, and then he's piping. And Flo's goes on to, what do you call that? Jane and Sid makes some sort of kind of candy balls. Time is up. And place them at the end of your benches. That's, I guess, when Silver Bells plays. Jane says, I hope it doesn't come down to a ribbon. But, I mean, thus far, let's just be honest. This episode hasn't even been close so far with the judging, so. Okay, so Jane's up first. Practically perfect penguin present cake. Understation, little doll, but classy, quite effective. Delicate depth, baker, but something. Let's see. So they say, okay, there's a penguin and trees in there. Paul's staring. I hope, Jane says. So they cut into it. Very exciting, Bruce says. A reveal. And we see a penguin. Look at that. And 2 Christmas trees on the side. Everybody's like, wow. And it has multiple colors, so it looks like a penguin. For, being in the center of a cake. Delicious. Orange is fragrant enough. Good, real depth. Beautifully baked. Buttercream, fantastic cake. Thank you. Really good cake, Bruce says. Now Andrew's up. Paul looks down at it. What happened to the stars? Right mess. Looks like you did finger painting. Do like the sugar work on top, though. If you left the stars off, I guess it would have been a little too plain, but, so his gets cut into. They say, okay, look at that. Looks more like presents than ornaments at this point because they're kind of, well, no, one looks like an ornament. An orange sponge, a bit of hazelnut for one of the sponges, hazelnut liquor ganache, vanilla fondant. They say, nice flavor, Bruce says. Overbaked, though, slightly. Bit dry. Flavors are Christmassy, good. Texture isn't a pleasure, though. Then 3, 2, 1, gotta be fun. It's gotta be fun. That's Liam. It's too messy, too clumsy, not sharp enough, Paul says. And Liam says, okay, it's alternates between gingerbread and star. So we see a gingerbread first. And they say, oh, wow, and then a star. How clever. It's clever. And but Bruce says, that's a great cake. And she goes, I was disappointed there wasn't going to be ginger in it, but now I think it's delicious, especially with the butter icing, which is perfect. Paul says, you redeemed yourself. Sponge is baked. Needed a little bit more polish, though. Cool, he says. And then flows up. Hers looks the best, I think, in my opinion. It looks most like a present. I do like the decoration set up. I like the color. Look elegant and pretty. So you got Roquefort cheese and Stilton in there. Everybody kind of is giggling. Cream cheese and a whole bottle of mulled wine. Everybody's cracking up. A little bit, I think, a little bit too much joking on Flo. So they're cutting. Sandy's really into this watching. And I like the inside design of Flo's. Has 2 sets of trees. One set is upside down. Texture of Christmas pudding. I can smell it from here. And they take a bite. And Bruce says right away, I don't like it. Love the imagination and the decoration. Don't like the wine. She goes, I don't like the combination. And yeah, Paul says it's not good. Interesting idea, but 2 different punchy flavors that are opposites. and you brought them together, unconventional manner, which is a cake. It's brave. Never heard anything like it. 'Tis unique. Thank you, Flo. Thanks. Flo says, oh, well, never mind. And then they say, Sandy says, oh, you're festive bakers. Now it's up for Paul and Prue to decide who's going to be Christmas star baker. So you can join your friends and family outside. There's a big party going on. Go join. Hugs and kisses. Flo says she'll continue to make cake. Then there's table talk. No one goes home. This is lovely. And Andrew overbaked. Jane all around. Liam redeemed. Flo, what was she thinking? Judges come out. Cheers. Very dressed up. Andrew wanted to go out on a high. This is a talking heads part and have the cake well baked, but doesn't always go to plan in the tents. There's fake snow. Flo says, I know, I'm going to keep making this cake. So maybe there's real snow because I see a tree. Then we have a cake of leftovers. Sandy says, it's great. Nobody has to go home because that's some part I don't like. Only one star baker, though. They go, okay, Andrew did well on the technical. His cake was bold, but overbaked. Great sugar work. Jane's done pretty well all the way through. Penguin looked amazing. You knew it was a penguin as soon as you cut it. Clever. Liam redeemed himself, to be honest. Bruce says his cake was the best for eating. And they have a laugh, unfortunately, Flo. And if it had worked, having your dessert and cheese at the same time would have been good. So then we see snow or fake snow, kids, reindeer, cheers. Everybody comes up very hunkered down. The judges with coats. Noel and Sandy have very big coats on. So it might be real snow. I don't know. It doesn't look, no, probably not. But maybe it's like 2 or 3 in the morning. So I say, okay, the winner is, come on, everybody still has their jumpers on, and Jane wins. Everybody cheers and claps, all the family and friends. There's a lot of hugging. It's really rare for someone to dominate in all 3 challenges like Jane did, Paul says. But very proud of her. Been a great year. Wonderful way to end it, Bruce says. Meet with all the families. And we're proud of these bakers. They should be. I'm proud. Almost lost for words, Jane says. Lovely to win it. And that comes to a close. So I hope you enjoy your holiday baking, bakers. Good night, bakers. All right, I want to thank everybody that became a patron recently. I want to say thanks, and good night to Vicky, Noah, and Tiffany. Thanks, and good night to Cindy, Carolyn, and Samantha. Thanks, and good night to Patricia, Chris, and Carrie. Thanks, and good night to Asa, Becca, and Pam. Thanks, and good night to Ryan, Heather, and Rebecca. Thanks, and good night to Cam, Jen, and Carrie. Thanks, and good night to Orisa, Kathy, and Zachariah. Thanks, and good night to Liv, Yumi, and Giselle. Thanks, and good night to Nina, Dick, and Teresa. And thanks, and good night to Kim, Jennifer, and Bethany. Thanks and good night to everybody who supports the show directly on Patreon or supports our sponsors. That's how we're able to be here free twice a week for you. And we grow as a podcast by people just simply spreading the word and helping grow the show, or just spreading the word about podcasting in general is a huge help. Just show somebody how to use the podcast app or soft. You say, hey, these are the podcasts I listen to. This is the app I use. When you have a chance to check it out on your phone, just get it through the app store or whatever. Or for a lot of phones, comes with a podcast app built in. Just tell them how to use that one at first. So that's it. Here's our Tuck You In sponsor, and that's how we've been able to grow all those archives. Thanks and good night, everybody.